We are so back. Good morning, YouTube. What's up, everybody? Hope you're safe and healthy and happy and doing okay. Whew, it is the first time I have said that in 7 months, 8 months, a lot of months. First and foremost, I just want to thank everyone for their patience as I've taken a little bit of a step back from making long form content or really any content at all after my son was born. It's been a whirlwind, and it's something that I wanted to take in without a lot of distractions, and I'm glad I did. But I am definitely getting an itch to get back into the content making space. So here we are today with the New Balance 1080 V15. So with that said, the 1080 V15 is here in my hands. This shoe is going to be out in January, I believe, but the 1080 has been a staple in the running shoe space for quite some time, and I would argue probably the most popular, or definitely one of the most popular New Balance shoes out on the market. Well, for the V15, they have changed quite a bit of this shoe, I would say. So today we're going to talk about if I think that is for the better or maybe not for the better. And one more thing before we get started today, New Balance did send me the 1080 V15, but they're not telling me what to say. They're not going to see this before you. Blah, 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 blah. And all of my opinions are always my own. Starting with the upper of this shoe, they have a newly constructed engineered mesh. It is a softer material in my opinion, but it is a more structured material. I think that structure really helps with the lockdown on this shoe. The lockdown through the midfoot is really solid. It hugs my foot like a glove, but it's not too tight. The breathability is pretty good. I got this shoe when the weather started getting a little bit cooler, so I don't know how it does really in the heat, but I can't imagine it being too hot. I think it has a lot of perforation for breathability. I don't think you're gonna have any issues there. You got two New Balance logos on the medial side and lateral side of the midfoot to just help with that lockdown. Those are all things I like. Nice sturdy heel too. Can't move that thing at all. I think this structure is important for a daily trainer because you want something reliable that's going to last the miles, and the durability on this upper is going to be pretty good. The biggest change though is obviously in this midsole. New Balance has gotten rid of the fresh foam in the 1080 and they are using a brand new foam called Infineon. And I gotta be honest, I think this is an improvement. This Infineon foam has response that I think the latest 1080 fresh foam was lacking. I don't really know what exactly the difference is in the composition of Infineon versus fresh foam, but I think this feels more lively, has a little bit more pep, bounce to it, reacts nicely when you put pressure on it, when your foot sinks down. During easier efforts, I feel that cushion protecting my foot from the road, but it's not something where you have absolutely no ground feel. There's just enough here that you're gonna feel more connected to the road, but in a very protected way. And when I've done a couple strides, picked up the pace, I feel like the foam reacts. It's not sinking down, dead feeling. I think the durability of the foam is gonna be better. I just think overall it's better. It's not gonna be life-changing, guys. You're not gonna step in this and be like, wow, this feels so much different from the fresh foam in the 1080 V14, but I do think you're going to notice those little differences that just give this the upgrade that it needs. The one negative, and I don't even really want to call it a negative because it's not bothering me, but I have noticed while I've been looking down at my feet and running that my right foot is really overpronating in this shoe. I don't know if that's because of the difference in foam. Maybe the Infineon is slightly more unstable, or it could be a me problem. Or it could be the fact that I do think they have made this overall silhouette a little more narrow, especially in that toe box area. It's not bothering me, it's not an issue, and I could absolutely run in this shoe for double-digit miles and not feel any discomfort. I'm confident in that. Otherwise, I think they nailed improving this midsole foam without getting too far away from what people loved about fresh foam. Turning the shoe over to the outsole, you have a nice amount of rubber in the forefoot, forefoot, exposed Infineon foam in the midfoot, and some more rubber in the heel. I've run predominantly treadmill miles recently. It's just what works for me, but I have gotten out there on the roads and I think it performs well on both surfaces. The tread on this shoe is holding up pretty well after about 50 miles. Got a little bit of wear, not terrible. Infineon foam holding up pretty well, which is nice. And a couple days that I ran outside, the weather was a little bit wet, wasn't sliding around, felt confident that this shoe was gonna bite into that road a little bit and keep me upright. So I think that the outsole is a good outsole. The New Balance 1080 V15 will be available in January for about $170, I believe. That is a little pricey if you ask me for a daily trainer. I do think this shoe is gonna give you a lot of miles though, so it's gonna be up to you if you think it's worth it or not. I would say that it is worth it. I think this is a solid shoe. Like I just said, gonna give you a lot of miles. You're gonna get your money's worth. It's somewhat versatile and I believe it'll also work well for a lot of different types of runners at different skill levels. So I could see a beginner picking this up and I could see a seasoned vet who's tried many 1080s. Maybe that's your shoe of choice. I think you could pick this shoe up, the V15, and like it just the same. I'm excited about this shoe. It's gotten me back into a little bit of a routine with my running. I'm excited to lace it up every morning at 5:30 a.m. To get those miles in. And I am certainly gonna keep running in this shoe as I continue to review more running shoes. Drink every time I say shoes, but don't, because you'll end up unwell. Well, everyone, that concludes this video on the New Balance 1080 V15. If you enjoyed it, please like it down below and subscribe. And when you're done with all that, hit the notifications bell so you can find out every time I upload a new video. And it took me a second to remember exactly what I was supposed to just say, but then it came to me. In the meantime, everybody, get out there, get on the grind, and don't forget to run like heller. See you next time. I just realized that my phone has been playing this white noise the entire video because we are napping. So sorry if you heard this the entire video. I'll get back into the swing of things soon. I will, I promise.